This is part 2 of Dear Negs. So anyways, this is an open letter, second part to Negs, also known as Ron Corbin. He's been talking a while about nobody knows what it's like to go through loss, and nobody knows what it's like to feel abandoned. Okay, this is from Jen's point of view, Mrs. Wombat. I have my own stories about loss and abandonment. This is from her point of view. And I know other people have also experienced great loss and great abandonment, and I'm sorry for that. This is just to let Negs know that he's not the only one who's ever gone through anything. Again, I'm sorry for his grief. I'm sorry for his loss. But he has said repeatedly that nobody has authority to speak on these things except for him. So let's talk about loss. Jen lost both her parents before she was 30. She lost her mom at 26, who she was extremely close to, being the baby of the family. Like I said in the previous video, we would spend time with them all the time. I was super close to him as well. She lost her mom when she was 26. She lost her dad. She was actually 25 when she lost her mom. And she was 29 when she lost her dad. She lost a niece who was in her 40s a few years back. And her niece were very, very close. When our son Nick was very small, her niece's son and my son, we do all kinds of stuff together as a big family unit. And there's a lot of things that we did. Now, to visit most of Jen's family, we have to go to the cemetery. Her grandparents are there. She has aunts there. Grandparents and her parents are all at the same cemetery. We even have a crypt of our own because we're planning on being cremated when that time comes for us. And we have our own crypt that we have purchased, and it is ours. We own it free and clear in case, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But she has experienced loss as far as actually physically having people in her family die. I would say there's probably at least 12 people from her family that are at the cemetery. Next, let's talk about abandonment. Again, this is from Jen's point of view. I have my own stories that I could do like a bunch of videos on. And again, this is not feel sorry for the wombats boohoo. This is just simply clearing the air to let Negs know that he's not the only one who's experienced loss or abandonment. He talks about people leaving his negative nation and different things. You know what? We've had people leave us in real life. Real life friends, not just social media friends from Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and everything else. But we've had friends that were closer than family that we've known for 20 plus years, that as soon as Jen got diagnosed with her Arnold-Chiari malformation, the brain thing that she has, people started peeling off right and left. I guess people don't want to be friends with people who are sick and dying. Jen, all her life has been really kind of wary about trusting people. She's had a lot of problems, but especially since she's gotten sicker and sicker, both physically and emotionally, she's had a lot of issues. We used to attend church years ago. In addition to working full-time, I was a part-time youth pastor. She was my right-hand person, going behind the scenes, doing all kinds of stuff for me. And she was amazing. But then when she got sicker and sicker, she was unable to attend church. And then when she would, people at the church would shun her. And they'd ask, like, why is she here? Like, she was seen as more of a hindrance rather than a help. Somebody actually said, I said, Jen's feelings are kind of hurt by some of the things that are going on. And one of the leaders in the church, this lady, she goes, well, it's kind of hard to get to know somebody when they're never here. And we were at that church for about 6 years. I resigned. I left that church. me and my son, we started going to another church. Jen wasn't ready to go to church because of the hurt feelings that she had. And there were some deep, deep, deep hurt feelings. So we started going to another church. And she, ever since she's had her surgery done, she's struggled with depression. There's a thing of depression, like having a dark cloud over your head and other things. But when you're sick and chronically ill, your body just does weird things to you. And she gets like major, major, major depression. She was even suicidal at the point where there's times where she would send me a text saying, "Can you come home and just be with me?" And my boss is a great guy. He'd let me take time off work to go deal with her and stuff. I mean, we'd have to hide knives, all kinds of stuff, because we're that concerned that she was going to hurt herself. I reached out to the pastor of the church that I was attending at the time, and I'd been going there about 6-7 years, and I'd been helping out in different places and stuff. Had a good rapport with the people there. And, I said, hey, Jen needs some help. I'm too close to a situation. I can only do so much. I need, her to talk to somebody on a professional level. It was ignored for like 6 months. And then some other things happened, and I just said, I'm done with this place. I left the church, got an email from the pastor, and said, hey, this is what's going on. I told you that. And he's like, oh, yeah, whatever. Good luck at your next church. So, as you can see, she has a big trouble trusting people. And the only way that she's been really kind of reaching out to people is through Twitter and through Facebook. So when people like Negs say, it's not real, it's just Facebook friends don't count, you're just like sticking a knife. Well, I'm going to have to splice this thing together because of the Chuck E. Cheese carnival act known as Live Me. I've been getting adware. Basically, all I was trying to say is that by your actions, you're stabbing people in the heart. That's what I'm trying to say. Jen is extremely sensitive, and it's very hard for her to trust people. And she reaches out to people on social media because she's homebound. She's actually bedbound, if you want to get really technical. So for people to say that social media doesn't count, it's like a big slap in the face. The only reason I'm making this is just to say, think about the impact that you're having on other people. It's not right. It's not fair. So you just need to stop. Life is more than Porsches and castles and hitting a million diamonds, And don't take this as being jealous of your success or whatever this is going to turn into, because that has nothing to do with this whatsoever. So I'm just saying, be aware of others than just yourself.